Hey everybody, it's Melissa Mango here with Sex, Love, and Rockin' the Soul, and I have a very special guest today, Matthew Herman, who is my boyfriend, my sweetie, and my lover. Today we're going to be talking about monogamish, open relating, all kinds of things, and it's more about our personal story and our perspective. So we're going to be covering a couple things: why you'd want to explore an open relationship, the essential things to make it work, from our opinion, of course, and potential benefits and drawbacks. So what are some reasons why you'd want to explore an open relationship?
Why I'd want to explore an open relationship. There's, I think, three main reasons. One is in traditional relationships, there is a lot of shaming around our natural attractions and desires that come up. And it's really common. People fight about that kind of stuff a lot. So when those feelings, when you don't have a forum to express just honest, natural attractions and things that come up, suppression happens, resentment happens, distance happens in the relationship, and it just creates a crappy feeling.
And sometimes people will lie about it and go do it anyway.
Yeah, so problems like that can arise.
Right.
Secondly, so kind of connected to that is that when you're in a monogamous relationship, sometimes this frame of feeling trapped kind of comes in, and you kind of start seeing it as like, this is it, right? This is the last person that I will ever kiss. This is the last person whose body I will ever be able to touch. This is it. This is the final relationship. There is no more intimate experience beyond this person. And that, I know for guys, maybe for women too, it can be like psychologically difficult,
God,
especially when some things are difficult in the relationship and you're like, I cannot stand the way they wash the dishes, and this is it for life. What happens is it feels like everything has to work inside of that relationship, or you're totally screwed, and you're like, how am I going to do this for the rest of my life? So there's a little bit of a release valve in being able to share with your partner, and possibly even lightly or more than lightly explore with other people. That takes the pressure off the day-to-day things that become, I think, over amplified and over pressurized when you have this frame of the relationship as the final.
This is it. Now, some people are totally satisfied and happy and content in this, and this is awesome. So this is not a video about shaming people for making it work, and that's totally.
This isn't to promote everybody should try open relating. This is just our experience with it.
Yes. I chose open relationships because I loved spending time with other men, going out on dates, even flirting. And so before, when I was in a monogamous relationship, I'd feel really bad. I would hold it back, and I was like, oh my God, did I pick the right person? There was a lot of shame around it. And so now there's a lot less pressure, and oftentimes I don't need to take it as far as I can go with it. It's just a lot more free, which I appreciate. Thank you. Yeah. So what are essential ways to make it work?
Be with somebody that you really like in your primary relationship, so that you're not wanting to explore with other people to fulfill a deficiency that you feel.
Right.
Somebody that you have a really easy connection with, that you can talk freely with, so that, because transparency is totally key in making the open relationship work. So being with somebody that you love, and there's no doubt that you want to be in a relationship with that person.
Like, so you're not trying to patch up the relationship by going outside of it.
Yeah, because
it needs to be solid.
Whether you're in a monogamous relationship or an open relationship, the issues of abandonment, feeling inadequate, sometimes having been lied to or something like that, all those things come up whether you're in an open or monogamous relationship. So being just having probably have done some work on yourself so that you understand what your own wounds and triggers are, and you can own them to some degree and talk about that kind of stuff, because it's going to come up, and
Yeah.
it comes up in monogamous relationships all the time, and monogamous relationships end almost always eventually, and it's always around issues. I mean, not always, but like the common issues in any relationship are fear and control and abandonment, and they come up in different ways. So being with somebody that you're really tight with and that you can talk to all this stuff about and have fun with, so it's not a question of like, do they want something else? You know, that will come up anyway.
Yes.
So
there you go. What are there? Anything else that you would agree to make it work?
Just really, again, because negotiation is such a big part of open relationships. It's comical, really,
Yes.
because in monogamy, there's little negotiation around anything having to do with connecting with other people or intimacy. I mean, there are sometimes, there are monogamous relationships where, it's okay to flirt and stuff like that, and that's great, and that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But monogamous relationships are pretty much black and white. It's me and you. There is no intimacy with others,
At
so
all.
there's not a lot to really talk about. But in open relationships, everything else is to be talked about. So you kind of have to create it on a day-to-day. You have to be really clear with why you're wanting an open relationship and what it is that you're wanting. And just for us, it's like seeing the humor in the negotiations that we have every day. They get ridiculous, and it's hilarious.
We should do some videos on it.
We'll do some videos about some of the negotiations, and we'll use mannequins and stuff like that. Like, so you can touch this part, but not this part. Yeah, it's
pretty funny.
It's hilarious, but
it's important to have it clear, because the clarity also gives you security and trust with your partner.
Yeah, things have to be clear, and yeah, so it's important.
Potential benefits and drawbacks. We've already discussed kind of some benefits. Anything else for benefits? I mean, to me,
again, the benefits are like I feel closer. This is my first open relationship, and when I have an experience like Melissa says, yeah, it's fine for you to make out with that person, or she is there too, or something, and so I'm getting to experience things that might have normally felt shameful.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of gratitude that I experience from that is huge, and being trusted is also just huge, and it just creates a natural desire to serve this woman and to be with this woman and to be closer to this woman, versus like, fuck you for telling me I'm bad and wrong, and like, yeah, okay, we're together, but now I'm doubting it. It's like, there's not a lot of resentment that gets built up. So a benefit of a healthy open relationship is actually bringing you much closer to your partner. Other benefits are like you get to like make out with other people and touch their bodies and have connections with other people, which, I mean,
it's quite
who
lovely.
Doesn't think that that's awesome if you know that it's not going to like damage your relationship,
right? Right.
So those are some of the benefits, and it's fun. I gotta say, like, there's a monotony in monogamous. I mean, I've never liked having 9-to-5 jobs where I know exactly how it's going to be every single day. I've always liked doing things where there's some unknowns, and in a way, creating your own relationship or customizing a relationship allows you to be, at least the idea that, hey, there's different experiences that we can have, and so it makes for a more interesting, exciting relationship.
Yay. Some of the drawbacks?
Drawbacks are you could totally fucking destroy your relationship if you do openness in a way that is unsafe and unclear, and
it can be vulnerable opening up in any way, whether you're doing poly, swinging, open, whatever. It can be a vulnerable place. So
yeah, I mean, some people might say, oh well, it's just such an out. You don't have to deal with the difficulties of being in a partnership because you can just kind of go find enjoyment in other places. And if it's true, if you do that too much, if you use
Mm-hmm.
experiences with other people as a way of avoiding like taking care of your primary relationship, then
Then
yeah,
that's not good.
it's gonna be it's gonna go in a bad direction.
Yes.
So also, this is a for a completely other video, but like how I guess what I was just saying, if you find another emotional connection somewhere else because there's something about your primary one that's not working,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna create a lot of problems. So
Right.
we're gonna have to do more videos.
Yeah.
Let us know if what you want to hear about.
Yay! So thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully that was like just a little tiny taste of what it's like for us anyway for exploring open relating. I'm Melissa Mango with Sex, Love, and Rocking the Soul. Be sure to check out my website, sexlovesoul.com. Stalk me on Facebook and check out my